Poor attendance at meetings is likely to be one of the first problems faced by a new Sertoma club. It is also one that can resurface for clubs that have been around for decades. All of this is to say, attendance is one of those things that service clubs and other member organizations routinely face. However, this problem is far from insurmountable. With the concerted efforts of your volunteers and the guidance of a focused attendance committee, your club can take great strides in addressing the issues and getting your members to show up in droves. This is the ABCs of attendance. So why is attendance even something worth paying attention to? Well, first and foremost, we know that attendance is a great barometer of a club's overall health. If you're seeing people show up at your meetings and events, it means that you have a strong foundation of support. Without it, you are likely to see your mission, volunteer, and fundraising programs suffer. Attendance is also a good indicator on an individual level. A member's regular attendance depends on the importance of the club to the member. If they are interested in being active and engaged, they'll show up. If they're not, it may mean there is another issue there. And as such, studying your club's overall attendance patterns, especially under the guidance of a dedicated attendance committee, can help identify issues impacting your members' interest and assist you with building effective programs, sponsorships, and more. The best Sertomans have a habit of regularly attending meetings, but the habit isn't acquired overnight. It is extremely important to get new members to a few meetings to develop the habit and to give longtime members time to adjust when circumstances change. Let's think about attendance goals, specifically at an individual member level. As a rule of thumb, 60% is considered minimum, 70% is good, and 80% is desirable. If members are attending less than 60% of meetings, it's time to start thinking about the ABCs of attendance. The ABCs of attendance is a three-pronged approach to handling attendance issues. Its intention is to help keep absenteeism from becoming a serious problem. It also aims to demonstrate to members just how important they are to the club. First, we must address them. When a Sertoman who regularly attends meetings is absent, don't assume he or she will attend the next session. We do not want to allow absenteeism to become a habit. To help prevent this, the attendance committee chair or another appointed volunteer should send a personal message. A handwritten postcard is especially effective, letting the member know they were missed. It's equally important to express that your club hopes that they will be able to come to the next meeting. This personal and immediate attention is especially important. It reminds our members that they are more than a number. They are part of your Sertoma family. We want them to know that we miss them when they're not there. The best way to keep members as members is to keep them engaged. Something as simple as this postcard reminder is an inexpensive way to do just that. What do we do if the member doesn't show up again? We buzz them. A friendly telephone call to the absent Sertoman immediately after the second consecutive missed meeting is a critical next step in successful attendance promotion. An appointed member of the committee, or perhaps even the board, should place the call. It's important to keep the conversation light and informal. We never want to be accusatory or confrontational. Our message here should really emphasize how essential they are to the club. Explain how their attendance and support helps your club function more successfully through their shared experiences of fellowship, education, and stewardship. You can also pique their interest in the next meeting by pumping up the topic and program. One last note, don't forget to place a reminder call before the next meeting. Don't let them forget that you're there waiting to welcome them back. Now, of course, there's still going to be members who don't come to a meeting. That's when we may need to be a little more direct, if appropriate, of course. This can start with a home visit. We often find out that someone hasn't been feeling well, has had family or work commitments, or had other changes in circumstances. That gets to be okay. Use your visit as an opportunity to catch them up on what has been going on, offering assistance if possible, and inviting them back to a meeting or other event. Let's say the member is aging and no longer drives. Can your club help arrange transportation? Or maybe they've been unhappy in the past about the direction of the club. Let this be an opportunity to have an open and honest conversation with them about the current state of your club, paying special attention to their questions. And perhaps they just don't feel like they fit in. Find out why they originally joined Sertoma and what they would like to get out of their membership. Then, find a way to connect them to a volunteer role, upcoming program, or even another member. You want them to feel welcome, included, and valued. For clubs that have attendance requirements, you will want to make sure that you have a makeup policy in place. This will not and does not apply to all clubs, of course, as many do not have any such guidelines in place for their membership. If your club decides that it needs to have a makeup policy, it should include a time span for which meetings can be made up. For the sake of this example, let's say your club allows members to make up meetings 1 month after the missed one. Others may allow members to make up meetings a week prior to the one they missed. There's really no right answer here. Just make sure you have it in writing and that you stick to it. Some places where members might make up meetings could include another Sertoma Club's meeting, a board meeting, a regional convention, a national convention, or the meeting of another approved organization where the member serves as an official Sertoma Club rep. Let's think about some other ways to improve your club's attendance. I've got 6 here. First is perhaps the most obvious one. Make sure your members know that your meetings are happening. This is probably something that cannot be overcommunicated. Use your club's bulletins, social media, and or website to promote your meetings. It might be a great idea to work with your public relations committee on some other new ways you can market your events. Next, hold your members financially accountable. We can do this by building prepaid meal fees into our club dues. Members often make an extra effort to attend meetings when they know they already paid for the meals. Note, it's important to be transparent here so that members know what their dues include and to clarify any policies your club may have regarding missed meals. Third, make sure your meetings are entertaining and informative. Partnering with the programs and social committees can ensure that you're offering a variety of programs and social opportunities. Don't forget events that involve the spouses or the entire family as a means to also periodically help build attendance. Your clubs can only utilize its most dynamic volunteers to help bolster attendance. Calling teams are a great way to divide up your membership so that each person receives a personal call inviting them to your next meeting. And with those who may have been absent from the last meeting, it's the opportune time to tell them that they were missed and to welcome them back. Next, we have contests. Now, we know that contests alone will not solve absenteeism, but competition can be effective when used in conjunction with other attendance promotions. For example, something like an Autograph My Card contest encourages both attendance and fellowship. Each member receives a pocket-sized card with enough lines for each member's signature. A member may obtain only the signatures of Sertomans seated on his or her immediate left and right at each meeting, and no member can sign another's card more than once during the contest. At the competition's end, the person with the most signature wins the prize. And finally, find ways to recognize those with perfect attendance. They should receive a Sertoma memento at an anniversary meeting or other significant club celebration. You should also make sure to recognize them in your newsletter, on social media, and in other public ways. One final note. Occasionally, every club is confronted with the problem of a habitual absentee. Each case should be considered independently. If the member retains interest in the club and he or she fulfills other obligations of membership, a club would be wise to keep the member on the roster. If the member has not fulfilled his or her financial obligations to the club, however, and shown no interest in maintaining membership, the appropriate committee or the board should consider what it may mean for the future of their membership in your club. This concludes today's training. While we know that improving attendance can be a challenge, we truly believe that with a little work, it is something that can be achieved. For more guidance on this and other topics, check out the Sertoma Member Center at members.sertoma.org. You can also connect with others in our members-only Facebook group at the link on your screen.